just want to, before I jump on that international part, I want to jump on this piece. It's very, very important because we talked about communism and how communism, which is really anti-socialism, is really the basis of almost all of the U.S. Domestic politics. But the most important thing is how we have organizations that are coming up now that can readily be encapsulated into certain parts of the neoliberal and the neoconservative agenda. And I'll give you an example. I told you about this group in Austin, Texas, that was demonstrating, and they were all geared up, with guns and everything, dressed like Panthers and all of this. And they were marching down the main street in Austin, and they were talking about reparations. They said, Panthers pull up for reparations. You can see it on YouTube. And then when you listen to what they're talking about, they were talking about reparations, migrants go home, reparations, close the borders, reparations. You got money for all these immigrants, but you ain't got money for black people. I'm telling you how this got encapsulated. Now and then when you let them really talk, their analysis and their politics is all screwed up, scrambled up. They don't understand that both reparations and migrant and the issue of migrants is directly tied to imperialism and white supremacy and the white supremacist construct. The nations that these people are coming from are the direct results of U.S. foreign policy and European policy in their countries that has rendered their countries useless to its own people. And so when they talk about close the borders, that they got money for Latinos on welfare, and all of this stereotype, you could see how this movement could easily be encapsulated into the rivalry between black people and non-black folks, who we know the enemy always uses, and they try to play us all against each other. The same way they try to use intersectionality in order to divide movements. And they fund certain levels, they fund certain microaggressions to the exclusion of others. And then the ones that they fund wind up talking down to the leadership of everybody as if we're supposed to be on their bandwagon. I think Kalonji and I just had a little a back and forth jokingly about that a little earlier today. So what I'm saying here is that the left has always been a victim of its own dogma, and we know that with the Black Panther Party, how the Communist Party was constantly attacked and subverted in order to turn away from the class analysis of the Black Panther Party, and they used Zionism, they used the Jewish left in order to do this. They had a whole program called Dear Irving, where they were writing letters to Jewish funders and artists and in the music industry, telling them that the Panthers were anti-Semitic, that the Panthers' support of Palestine, you understand, it was talking about how we hated Jews, and they're giving money to the Panther 21 Defense Committee. So we need to understand that the left that we're talking about really doesn't exist in terms of a real left. I think that when the comrades come on from Europe, they're going to tell you the same thing about the Social Democrats in Europe, and how social democrats will say that they support a two-state solution in Israel, which is a ridiculous notion, but they support a two-state solution. So those who oppose the Zionist European settler state of Israel are in fact anti-Semitic. Okay, so therefore, and this is a problem. And during the course of my address to them, I said, well, first of all, the conversation is skewed, because in order to be anti-Semitic in the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, you have to be anti-Palestinian, because they're the only Semites in the argument, And so who are we talking about here? And this is the death knell. This is the killer punch to white supremacy and Zionism, that the European settler state of Israel has no DNA, no religious, no cultural connection to the land, to the Levant, and to the Palestinians. And as long as we keep going along with this idea that to be anti-Zionist is to be anti-Semitic, we're buying into that. And that plays itself over right here with the Anti-Defamation League and AIPAC. When you talk to the left lawyers and say, why don't we bring a lawsuit? Why don't we bring a show cause against AIPAC and have them have them declared as an agent of a foreign government? Because AIPAC almost literally writes U.S. policy on Israel, almost verbatim. And so, and they perform as the agent of a foreign government, but they're not seen as that, okay? They're seen as a legitimate lobby. But the left has, the institutions here have no problem declaring organizations from the left as agents of a foreign government. So what do these lawyers tell me? Oh, they're too busy dealing with this. They can't deal with this. It's too much, you know. And so we need to understand that on the left right now, what's called the left is a neoliberal tendency to buy in to the simulationist politics of the status quo. So I think it's very important for us to understand that, because we're going to make a lot of enemies just from this broadcast.
Surprise.
You know, we're going to make, we're going to make a lot of enemies.
More than we have right now?
Yeah, I know. We can't seem like we can't stand no more, but you know how that is, man.
Our shoulders are big. I think we can we do all right.
Yeah, I know. Kalonji's back is strong, man. Me, I got a bad hip. I can't take no more.
Now you got a bad hip.